Hi everyone, welcome back to Intuitive Garden Tarot. If you're new here, my name is Nicole and we're going to take a little walk together in my intuitive garden and check out the energy for this week, September 29th through October 5th. This year is rapidly coming to a close, isn't it? And it's not void of bumps and surprises. Remember, this is a general reading, and there's a link in the description box below to book a personalized one-on-one reading with me. I would love to do that with you. We can look at the energy specifically for you and specific questions you might have. I'm using the Mind's Eye Tarot deck today. This is the deck that wanted to bring forth this message for us. So, without further ado, let's see what we have here. Seven of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, the Tower, Five of Wands, the Hierophant, and Justice. This happens a lot in my layout that I often use, that there are three major arcana forming this triangle, this base of energy at the base of this reading. So with the Tower at the heart of the reading, that's happened recently. No surprise there. And I'm seeing two fives. Fives are about change, temporary setback sometimes. No cups here. Wands, Pentacles. There's one sword in the Justice card, otherwise no swords either. So fire and earth energy is coming through strongly here. In the recent past, we have the Five of Pentacles. Feeling left out, maybe financially burnt out, not terribly abundant. I'm also getting energy. Your physical body might just feel really out of sorts and unfamiliar to you with some of the changes happening. And these would be probably changes from solar impulses, as well as embodying more light in your body is bringing in change. It might be uncomfortable. It just might feel really unfamiliar. And the Seven of Wands is saying, you've got this. You totally have what it takes to rise above these changes, these shifts. It's going to be a bit of a moment here of holding space for yourself, the rest you need, the energy you might need to replenish. When I was pre-shuffling, just getting a feel for the cards, the Four of Swords jumped out, which is about rest and reflection. So I thought, okay, that's a precursor message here, and it does seem to apply. So much going on for everyone in every which way that rest and rejuvenation and taking time for yourself is very, very important, and it will continue to be. So you'll probably hear me say this again and again. And you might be getting some flack from others around you. You might be interacting with others that aren't as dialed into these changes. Maybe they haven't experienced them yet. And so there might be just a lack of understanding or compassion for what you need. I'm getting another message here. One moment. Something about looking at what you're holding on to still. This is as if it's coming from your guides. This is how I'm hearing this, so I'm going to say it that way. Your guides are saying, pay attention to what you're holding on to. Hold on to your integrity and your truth in this process. And there might be something or some things you need to let go of in order to hold space for yourself and your changes and your upgrades. And it looks like this might be a challenge here. This figure is really wanting to hold on to that pentacle. This is sometimes a card of withholding finances, withholding energy, withholding something. And I'm getting that the challenge is being attached to what's familiar, even though it doesn't really fulfill you. It's not an abundant energy, it's an energy of lack, but again, it's what you and most of us know, and it's hard to trust. I think that something else is possible and that it can be better. And the tower, look at this image. This woman basically is embodying the tower. So I'm hearing that your bodies are embodying this energy of change, back to that feeling of feeling out of sorts physically, feeling like your body just feels different or different than it has, different than what you're used to. That is actually a good sign. There's a detoxification process going on energetically as well as physiologically. So that's probably why I got the message in last week's reading that hydration is so important, purifying your diet, your thoughts, everything that really isn't serving you, what isn't supporting your new upgraded version of yourself, of your new expanded consciousness, what you're perceiving, what you're seeing as possible is shifting. Even though it's uncomfortable, this is really a blessing. And I'm seeing energies all around you watching, your guides, your ancestors, hoping and trying to infuse courage and strength into you, because it's not just you. And I'm going to throw a bigger curveball out there. Your ancestors might be you incarnating in different spaces and times. I don't think time is linear. We refer to past lives, but they might all be happening simultaneously. It might just be one big mix that we stretch out and look at in a linear way, but it probably isn't. So for those of you that want to dig into those layers of perception, I'm throwing that out there. But the general message is that there's support, you're being watched over, and it's a different energy from like cheering you on. It's almost like there's just this quiet reverence and observation of your own process. And the Five of Wands is about struggle, gridlock, internal conflict, sometimes external conflict. There's just so much energy going in so many different directions, with the purging in the body, the expanding of consciousness, people, situations changing, leaving your life, you're leaving situations or people. And it's just enough to want to give up, is how I'm hearing that. But remember, fives are temporary. This is a temporary setback. And this is the process that occurs as things are rearranging, and as you're reconfiguring your own reality and your own relationship to your reality. And there are just so many curious eyes watching you, and I think they're not just energetic other realms. You might have friends, family, coworkers, people in your community, children observing your changes with curiosity, honestly. Because I have a sense that many of you are leading the way in your friendships, community, family dynamic. Like I said, everyone is going through this process on their own timeline and in their own way. And for some, it hasn't quite begun yet, or it's only just beginning. And I'm getting that most of you watching this video are much deeper and further along with your own personal growth work and your spiritual growth. And that's where there's some conflict. That's where there's some struggle to hold space for yourself and hold space for your reality when it doesn't match the pack that you were running with for some time. You're shifting and others around you might not be yet. I do want to point out that you're not alone. This community here is going through that. Many communities online can be connected with if you're looking to find others that you can relate to, if you are feeling kind of like you're alone with all this energy coming at you, like you're just holding the line. So I encourage you to connect as much as possible for that emotional support and validation. But again, regarding those that are watching you around you in the 3D plane, so to speak, you're inspiring some of them. So keep up the good work. Because I firmly believe this is a process that we're all going to go through sooner or later, and no one will be left behind. So, there are different waves of people going through their own ascension process and their own consciousness expansion, and you might be more at the front lines there. And the Hierophant is confirming what I just said. You might be a leader of sorts, you might be a guide, a teacher. This might be familiar to you. You might have even been through a process like this before. But what I'm getting here is that you have many healing codes to share with others. So excellent work, even if it feels lonely sometimes. You have some kind of power pack. I've never seen that before from this card, so something's coming through here that you have this charged belt, I'm going to say. So this could be in between your sacral and third chakra. Could be about your creativity, about connecting with your power and your expression of your I am that I am presence. But you came equipped in this lifetime for this situation. Wow, this is really interesting how it's unfolding. You set yourself up with a travel kit, a tool kit. That's it. It's like a tool belt. Oh my goodness. You have a very magical tool belt with many skills and abilities to get yourself through this and to be a leader for others. This is great. And whether it's just, in your own personal life, this doesn't mean that you're being called to the world stage. Many of you are. Maybe that's exactly what that means, or something in between. But you just might be a leader, in your neighborhood, in your household, even if you live alone with pets and plants. I mean, you are somehow possessing some leadership qualities that's coming through very strongly. You have these keys, these healing keys to give to others to help them unlock their own healing process, because what you're going through now, again, is what everyone can look forward to, and not everyone is in this process yet or in the thick of it like you are. And you have what it takes. You set yourself up beautifully in this lifetime to get through this process. So hang on to that 5 energy in terms of don't hang on to it, cancel it, cancel it. Hang on to the notion that that's temporary. The conflict, the stuckness, the rearranging that's uncomfortable is temporary. And justice says you are massively coming through with support of truth coming out of, first and foremost, all of our abilities, our right to have a beautiful, abundant, peaceful, joyful life existence here on earth. That is everyone's right. That was intended for everyone, and it's not how it has been for, in a linear way, thousands and thousands of years, maybe even more than that. And so there's some karmic justice here that you're bringing to the table. You're exuding that. Some of you might actually be in a legal situation because of these changes. You might be going through a divorce. You might be setting up a will or some kind of contract or contractual agreement that's balanced and fair, based on what you know as truth. And another interpretation of this is that it's karmic justice for you to be going through this process, and for you to be some kind of a leader for others. Like it's karmically ordained, karmic destiny, if you will. That's another way to look at that. But you have much wisdom, much insight, and you understand fairness and balance. It's also things coming into alignment for you, in and around you. So with these 2 cards around that 5 of Wands of struggle or conflict, again, you've got this. Totally, you've got this. You have strong energy, you have support, and you're already inspiring others, whether you realize it or not. Okay, beautiful. Let's get an oracle message here to tie it together, and we're going to take a message from the Green Witch Oracle deck, and I call it a message from the garden. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate each and every one of you. It helps my channel grow. And leaving a comment, even an emoji, also helps my channel grow. The algorithm pays attention to any interactions that happen. So I appreciate anyone who has anything to say, even if it's just an emoji. Okay, one more shuffle here. Yeah. Awesome. Success. I said, you've got this. Basil. There's the healing key. I said, and Libra energy also is very much this. Justice, balance, the scales of justice. And look at this. I said you have healing keys and codes. That is one of the depictions of these lines on this staff that he's carrying, as I understand it. This is like a key to unlock your understanding, your healing. And in this deck, if I bring it in really closely, there are 2 keys here crossed over on her arm. You hold the key to your own success. You hold the keys to your own happiness and growth and your freedom. The keys to the kingdom are coming through. Oh my goodness. You understand sovereignty and how to align with your sovereign truth, unplugging from the conditioning, the matrix, etc. You're getting it, you're doing it, and that is awesome. It's exactly what we need. Did I say basil? This is peppermint. My apologies. Peppermint. You might want to ingest some fresh mint. You might want to drink mint tea. Peppermint essential oils are also very refreshing, uplifting, revitalizing, especially for depleted energy. So that's something you might want to allow to yourself or give to yourself, as well as mint tea can be very soothing to the digestive tract. And with all these physiological changes and purging, again, you should watch last week's energy forecast. It still applies. This energy is going to keep unfolding over the next several months, and it will add to this reading. But there is a lot of purging. Some people might feel motivated or inspired to do some kind of nutritional cleanse with whatever trusted healthcare practitioner you want to take advice from. But mint is very calming to the gut. Beautiful. Well, I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for your time and for going through this reading with me. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.